Hey everybody, welcome to episode 199 of Is This Thing Working? We are looking at one more day and we're going to have 200 episodes under our belt, man. Wow, we're big time, ain't we? Good morning, Denise. How you doing?
Good morning, James. And everybody out there. Welcome to the show today. Did y'all have a great weekend?
Yeah, I did. It was kind of chilled out, man.
We did a lot of resting.
Yep. Watched a lot of football, too.
It was nice. Football is back.
I love football season. God, I love it,
I know,
man.
me too. It's great competition between the states and different,
colleges,
parts
man.
Of
it was all rivalries. And the thing is, too, I wish they'd play football year-round.
They try, but I really can't get into the other ones.
The other two leagues?
Other two leagues. We watch them somewhat. We don't keep up enough. But, maybe when the leagues keep getting better and better, they'll have better competitive games. But they're really not. You only have one or two teams that just runs
out of that
away.
8 teams, yeah.
That runs away with everything. So
and as
that's
far as
why it gets on. That's why I can't really watch it.
Yeah, as far as the spring football that they had this year, I thought the most interesting game was the game between the XFL and the other league. When they combine them together.
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty cool.
That was a pretty cool game.
That's about all I watched.
But football,
it's back.
It's back.
It's back. Yay!
Well, next week we'll be in on it too, and we got a little bit to talk about the Philadelphia Eagles here later on, and we are going to talk about Bannon and Trump as usual, and the migrant crime that keeps going on in America. So you stay tuned all the way to the very end because we are fired up on Tuesday, the day after the Labor Day. So let's do it. Let's pay some bills first.
We would like to welcome our new sponsor to Is This Thing Working? So help us welcome Cornbread Hemp. Their mission is to draw on Kentucky's 250-year legacy of growing hemp, as well as the state's unique climate and soil, to manufacture the highest quality cannabis products available in America. They proudly offer full-spectrum, USDA organic CBD products with up to 2 milligrams of THC per serving. Their plants are grown in what's known as the Bluegrass Basin, which produces the highest quality hemp alongside the best bourbon and fastest racehorses. Cornbread Hemp is one of the very few, if not only, CBD brands in America who exclusively use the hemp flower to create their CBD extract, called Flower Only CBD, and they want the world to know.
Please check out Cornbread Hemp by going to cornbreadhemp.com right now for 30% off your initial purchase of any products on the website. Again, go to cornbreadhemp.com and use promo code ITTW for this special offer. Remember, you get 30% off, promo code ITTW.
And there you have it. And we want to state these are our opinions and our assertions. If you agree with us, tell your friends. Share our show.
And if you don't agree with us, make sure you tell your friends and share the show. Also, stomp that like button and please follow or subscribe wherever you see the name Is This Thing Working? And our podcast is available for download on all platforms. For example, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and Rumble. Please download that Rumble app so you can follow the show and you will receive instant notifications when we go live Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time.
So let's get on with the show, man.
Let's
get it going. Let's get going here. Hey, but one thing real quick before we do. When you listen to podcasts, which platform do you choose? I mean, just curious.
Yeah, let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
I use Apple.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's funny. I use Spotify more.
Isn't that crazy? Because, we do the show, and when we're out and about, we listen to other podcasts as well. And I've always used Apple.
Have you? Yeah.
Yeah, and you've always used Spotify, and I just find that odd.
Yep. And for YouTube, that's where I go for my music playlists and genres,
Yes, and I don't really use YouTube at all. I use Rumble. And music, let's see, iTunes.
Do you?
But then I heard that iTunes was going away and it's becoming Apple Music. So I don't know how to transfer everything. I don't know how to do all that. So I have to figure that out. See, I'm really
That's why I like Spotify.
Yeah, technological. crazy there.
But hey, whatever you listen to, hey, if you feel like you want to tell us, tell me where you listen to it. It's I find it interesting.
Yeah. That way we can find out, who is listening to what. And there are some out there that we don't even know about.
Yep.
Like Podbean. I found us on Podbean.
Podbay too, yeah.
And what was that one? Amazon Music.
Yep.
So we were on there too. So y'all just look around. You can find us anywhere. But welcome to the show. And we want to state that Steve Bannon, please free Steve Bannon.
Exactly.
I hear that maybe something is in the works, but as of today, he has been a political prisoner for 63 days of the Biden and Harris administration. And of course, we have call to action, and we've been pushing this all week, last week, well, for several weeks actually, to call your representatives and senators and be nice about it, push them to pass the SAVE Act, or
can I give them the phone number?
Well, certainly, but I was going to say, or shut down the government.
Or shut down the government. Exactly. Or shut down the government.
But give them the phone numbers.
Yes.
Hey, get your number 2 pencil out and listen to what he has to say here.
The phone numbers are area code 202-225-3121 for the U.S. House, and the number for the Senate is area code 202-224-3121 for the U.S. Senate. There you go.
And
call them
because it is imperative that we pass this SAVE Act.
And yes,
they're gonna come out and say, well, it's not even going to be able to go into effect. But this particular act will start when it's signed. So they will have to go back and they will have to redo so many things that they've already jumped onto, because we have the receipts to tell you about.
Yeah.
That illegals are being registered to vote. But we got this post this morning from Grace, and it's from the Punch Bowl's newsletter this morning, talking about this very thing. And Jake Sherman, he says, let's talk about government funding and the September 30 shutdown deadline. As we scooped you in Monday's AM edition, Speaker Mike Johnson is planning to put a short-term funding bill on the floor next week that keeps federal agencies open until March at Fiscal Responsibility Act levels, minus the side deals worked out between Biden and former Kevin McCarthy. If y'all, former Speaker Kevin McCarthy, if y'all recall, Kevin McCarthy and Biden supposedly did these side deals that raised the level
of spending
for so many years and so long, or throughout 2025, I believe.
Yeah.
And we're trying to cut back on that.
And also, Jake goes on to say that in a nod to former President Donald Trump and the House Freedom Caucus, Johnson will attach the SAVE Act, which would require proof of citizenship in order to register to vote in a federal election. This bill, authorized by Representative Chip Roy, Republican from Texas, it passed the House with 5 Democrat votes back in July.
But, of course, the Senate does not want to take this up and have not. They've pushed it aside. No, we're not doing this.
Yep. And Punchbowl said that we told you this would be a non-starter for Democrats in the White House, and today they say they spell out why it's DOA in the Senate if it ever even gets that far. And this is why we talk about these things, man, to you, is because the SAVE Act is something that we as Americans, as people of this country who are Americans, who are the ones that are legally and by birthright supposed to be here, we need this, because these people that are crossing our border illegally right now and flooding our damn country, they have no voice. The people that have voice are us. And that's why we need to call these senators. That's why we need to call these representatives. And like Denise said, gently remind them about these things. But here's one more thing I want you to gently remind these people. You gently remind that senator or that representative that you are not my leader. I voted you in to serve the people. You do what the people ask you to do.
Yeah, right. Well, the SAVE Act also...
You said, yeah, right.
We did vote them in, but they do what they want. I mean, we vote them in. We go to the voting booth and we say, "Hey, we want you to do this," and you promise us all of these things, and then you do nothing for us. You only do what you want to do.
What blinds your own pocket.
Exactly. And to the Democrats, this SAVE Act is a huge problem. And the Senate Majority Leader, Chuck Schumer, he has refused to take it up. And this is the Democrats' talking points right here. And Democrats dismiss it as a scare tactic. It is already illegal for non-citizens to vote in federal elections. And there's no evidence that it's a problem.
Okay, that's a true and a lie all in the same sentence. It's disingenuous.
Yes.
Because it is a fact that it's illegal for non-citizens to vote, but it's also a lie that there is no evidence. There's tons of evidence.
There's tons of evidence.
Yep.
Just like we're going to show you. And we actually talked about this last week, and we played this same video we're going to play for you again to remind you what the Democrats are doing. Illegal migrant in New York City admitted on video that Democrat officials told him he could vote in the upcoming USA elections. He said immigration gave him a state ID he can show to vote. Listen to what he says. And we will stop the video as it goes along because he switches over to Spanish.
He speaks in his own language, but they had the closed caption under there. And in fairness to our podcast listeners from last week, when we did this, we didn't
take the time so we apologize for that.
Yeah, we didn't take the time to translate it back. So today, during this interview here, when he's asked the question, we'll stop and I'll read you what he says. Here we go.
This is Juan, who I found selling water right outside the Stewart Hotel.
Where are you from?
Soy de Ecuador.
I'm from Ecuador.
Here in New York.
Actualmente no.
He says, what are you doing here? He goes, not working because I don't have documentation.
No tengo la documentación.
When did you get to New York?
En marzo.
In March.
March. Who are you voting for, Trump or Kamala?
Kamala.
Why Kamala? ¿Por qué Kamala?
Porque veo
because so many opportunities with her as an immigrant than with Trump. That's what he says.
muchas oportunidades en ella y está más con los inmigrantes que Trump.
Do you have the plan to vote on November 5th?
He says, I have doubts that I'll be able to.
Estoy en duda, en tela de duda.
Did somebody tell you that you can vote at the hotel?
O sea, por ahí.
In other words, I was told a reference that as a migrant, I could vote.
Ahí me dijeron una referencia que yo como inmigrante podía votar.
Did they tell you that you need any sort of identification to vote?
Yo, claro, como
Yes, just like all countries, I have my identification here. It's from Bogotá.
todo país, yo tengo mi identificación aquí, pero la de la ciudad.
¿Te dejan votar con esa identificación?
Tendrá que, no tengo idea, pero tendré que consultarla.
He says, I don't know if I can vote with documentation from Bogotá.
He doesn't know. He has to consult with someone to figure out if he's allowed to do it with his license. Because he has
Si
a
tengo la
license.
ID de aquí.
Yeah, he
I
has
do
a
have
ID, but he doesn't
identification.
know if he can vote. Okay, how did you get your ID? ¿Cómo conseguiste la ID?
Me sacaron una cita por
I got an appointment with the immigration office,
medio de una organización, asistí y
and they gave me a state ID.
me demoraron 15 días y me la entregaron.
Do you see that? He's not a citizen. He
Yeah,
has
but
not applied
he
for
references
citizenship.
his Bogota ID.
Uh-huh.
You know, and then it was like he was like trying not to tell him that he actually had a state ID, and then in the end he did. Yeah,
But he's not a citizen.
he's not a citizen, so I don't understand that. Well, we also talked about last week Governor Abbott, and you know the extensive review that was conducted by the Secretary of State's office and county voter registrars has yielded significant results. Remember this? We were talking about how many non-citizens were registered. Over 6,500. Over 6,000 voters with felony convictions. Over 457,000 deceased individuals. And you wonder why sometimes that it matters. Why does it matter that all of these people are illegally on a registration?
Exactly.
You know, I mean, sure, if they're deceased, they're not going to vote, right?
Well, they shouldn't. And then that's the point with this is the illegal voting doesn't just deal with non-citizens. It also deals with people that aren't allowed to vote due to circumstances and things that they have done. Just like this, over 134,000 voters who confirmed they had moved. We talk about the mail-in ballots. Me and you both have worked for the United States Postal Service, and we have seen in our years of delivering mail, you pull up to a house that you know Ken and Mary lived there with their 2 children, and all of a sudden you're getting strange, weird names on mail-in ballot forms and envelopes for this address. In Texas, they've confirmed that there was over 134,000 of those that were mailed out like that. Over 65,000 voters who failed to respond to the examination notices, and over 19,000 voters who had requested cancellation of their registration. Think about that. 19,000 voters who said they requested a cancellation of their registration were still there.
So what do? Do they use these names and put them on ballots?
That's what I'm beginning to wonder.
This is what has become a problem with mail-in ballots. I had an incident myself where I had changed my name when James and I got married. And I'm telling you, they did not take the other name off of the roll. I was getting 2 voter cards.
And had to notify them immediately.
And I had to notify them immediately, hey, this is wrong. I don't vote under this name. So please delete that. Now, I need to really go look. I give them, and I haven't gotten another one since. But I really need to look and make sure that that one's not on there. So please, if you see mistakes, let them know right away what's going on, because it's very important that we fix our elections, and that is our goal. And that is our Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton's goal as well. And he sends warning letters to Harris County and Bayard County here in Texas over voter registration form distribution. Listen to this news anchor talk about this right here.
This evening, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton has sent a warning to Harris County to not send voter registration applications to what he called unverified recipients. Just after 9 o'clock tonight, he sent us a press release that says, in part, quote, the distribution of forms to unverified recipients could induce ineligible people, such as felons and non-citizens, to commit a crime by attempting to register to vote. The Attorney General also sent warning letters to Harris County commissioners as well as Bexar County. Here's a look at the voter registration requirements taken right from the Texas Secretary of State's website. You must be at least 18 years old on election day, a U.S. citizen, a resident of the county where the application is submitted, not a convicted felon, and not declared mentally incapacitated.
Ken Paxton came out with a statement, and he says this is what's happening in these counties.
Yeah, in his news release, he says that on September 3rd, 2024, the Bexar County Commissioner's Court will consider using taxpayer funds to pay a third-party vendor to print and distribute voter registration forms to unregistered individuals residing in the county. Bexar County the county seat is San Antonio, for those that don't know. He said a similar plan has been under consideration by the Harris County Commissioner's Court. County seat of Harris County is Houston. So you got San Antonio, one of the larger cities in the state. Houston, one of the larger cities in the state. And this is what they've got going on down here. So he's aware of this fact. And he goes, the distribution of forms to unverified recipients could induce ineligible people, such as felons and non-citizens, to commit a crime by attempting to register to vote. He says further, Texas counties have no statutory authority to print and mail state voter registration forms, making the proposal fundamentally illegal. And he said that if the Bexar County Commissioner's Court votes to adopt the measure at its meeting tomorrow, AG Paxton will sue to enforce Texas law. Attorney General Paxton will take similar actions against Harris County should it choose to follow suit. And tell you what, Harris County needs to watch themselves really close, because they've already been in trouble this year already.
I know the state's already taken over their elections.
Yeah.
And he says it is unlawful and reckless for counties to use taxpayer dollars to indiscriminately send voter registration forms with no consideration of the recipient's eligibility and without any statutory authority to do so. He said, these counties' attempts to do so after the Biden-Harris administration has allowed millions of illegal aliens to enter the country are especially troubling.
Yes.
100%. So we are behind him and we're pushing this out. Everyone, keep your eyes open because this is going to get wild before it gets any better. And I guarantee you, the Democrats, this is their plan. They have brought in millions of voters. And the replacement theory, by the way, is true.
Yeah.
Because everyone knows about their reckless plans. Everyone knows their plans are to put their thumb on you and to regulate you and to make the economy so bad you can't afford it. They just want you to be poor. I'm sorry, they do. They are socialists.
They want to, and the only way that they can do that by keeping you poor, they're doing that to do what? Keep themselves in power. Are you ready to turn your passion into profit? With Shopify, it's never been easier to start, run, and grow your own business. Whether you're selling online, in-store, or on social media, Shopify's all-in-one platform has you covered. From stunning storefronts to seamless checkout experiences, Shopify handles the heavy lifting so you can focus on what you do best, building your brand. Join millions of entrepreneurs who trust Shopify to bring their ideas to life. Start your free trial today at Shopify.com and see how easy it is to get your business up and running. Shopify, your business, your way.
That's exactly right. Please click that link below. And also, we also have a Shopify store. Please check us out at ITTW Merch.
That's it.
That's it. I mean, really, we have some good merchandise coming up. We kind of put a little bit here and there, and we've redone a little bit. So go check it out. It's really been fun.
We've got, I think I counted last night, 11 different shirt designs so far.
Right. And now I'm fixing to do tumblers. So that would be kind of cool. Everyone loves tumblers. President Trump, as everyone knows, what's been going on with this Arlington cemetery, all of a sudden Kamala Harris comes out and says it was a political stunt. And the Gold Star families are mad. I mean, they came out all weekend. They were, each individually came out on their own to tell you their story. And why? Why has not Joe Biden or Kamala Harris said their names? I'm going to say this right now. Until you stand up and say their names, you are nobody. You are nothing. You are just a shield for whoever. I don't even know who's running the country right now, but these people lost their loved ones in a horrible, horrible situation
that they should have never been placed in.
And we have a video that we want to play you of them.
This is the Gold Star families and their response to the Biden administration, to Kamala Harris, and to each and every one who disrespects their families and the things that they've went through.
Vice President Harris.
Vice President Harris.
Vice President Harris, my name is Steve Nakui. I'm the father of Lance Corporal Kareem M. Nakui.
My name is Jim McCollum. I am the Gold Star father of United States Marine Corps Lance Corporal Riley McCollum.
This is Mark Schmitz, Gold Star father of Marine Lance Corporal Jared Schmitz.
My name is Darren Hoover, and I'm the Gold Star father of United States Marine Corps Staff Sergeant Taylor Hoover.
My daughter-in-law, Sergeant Nicole Leanne G., was killed in the Afghanistan exit at Abbey Gate.
Our kids were murdered because of your administration.
You were not at Dover for the dignified transfer, and no time have you reached out to me to offer your condolences, to offer thank you for Kareem's sacrifice and service.
You have 13 families who have been waiting over 3 years to so much as get a phone call, to so much as hear our kids' names said aloud.
You failed for 3 years and 8 months to acknowledge our kids.
Where were you and Joe Biden on August 26, 2024? Nowhere near Arlington Cemetery. You couldn't be bothered to be with us or even say our kids' names, just as you had done for the last 3 years.
Vice President Harris, I ask you, why won't you return a call and explain to us how you call my daughter-in-law's death a success. President Trump has called. President Trump shows up. President Trump takes the time to hear our loved ones' stories.
We invited him to be there.
These are the only memories we get to make with our son, and it is you who is playing politics and trying to detract from our memories made that day.
President Trump has been there for us. He's been a rock for us. He showed compassion for us, and he showed he truly cares for the families that truly do know what the ultimate sacrifice really is.
Amen.
That's how you be a leader. That is exactly how you be a leader. You lead the people.
Well, and that's why the people are just love him, and that's why every one of his rallies has thousands and thousands of people, and that's why he has so many people that follow him from rally to rally to rally, because they know, they tell you every single day, being at these rallies, that he is real. He is for you. He is for the American people, the American worker, and he was in Pennsylvania this weekend, Johnstown, and the rally, and I seen all the pictures and the videos, and it was wild. And there was like Steve Miller was there speaking, and a lot of other important, voices in the movement was there. I mean, everyone wants to be and speak at his rallies, but there was an incident that happened that we wanted to bring up because we haven't heard anything else about it or what it was about. But there was a man that disrupted the rally by climbing on the riser in the press pen. Trump apparently thought the scuffle by security was over a supporter near the same spot, waving a banner with an image from the assassination attempt in Butler, Pennsylvania on July 13th. So he thought that maybe the guy got too close.
Yeah.
But this guy that I'm looking at in this video here looked like he was trying to climb over the fence. So who knows? See, look at him. He's like standing up for our podcast audience. He's standing up on the thing. I don't know if he was like trying to get President Trump's attention or what, but Secret Service kind of went a little crazy, and that's the way it is right now with President Trump, people. We need to really stay within the boundaries. He was almost assassinated on July 13th. So we really need to step back and just kind of watch what's going on, because this could happen again. It's very worrisome.
And to give credit where credit is due, the Secret Service done a great job this time, because we don't know who the identity of the man is, or at least in this article we didn't get it identified, and all he's being referenced to is the man in the dark glasses. So anyway.
But yeah, so that happened at that rally. Now, I do want to say President Trump did come out this morning with, he asked you to join him in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania for a town hall tomorrow evening at 5:30 Eastern with Sean Hannity. So you'll know that'll probably be on Fox News or somewhere that you can watch that. Well, hey, who knows what? I mean, maybe we can live stream it. I'm not really for sure where it's going to be at, though. I mean, on the TV. So, but be aware that he wants you to join him.
And speaking of campaigning, in fabulous fashion, as they always can, Kamala Harris's campaign's running off the rails again. Here we go with some more fakeness out of her.
Oh my gosh.
Some more lies out of her.
That's all they do. But you don't know for sure who's lying here at this point. We were talking about football earlier, and the Eagles, all of a sudden you see Kamala Harris, being endorsed by the Eagles all over, Philadelphia. And it was really crazy because they came out immediately and said, that is not us. Our marketing people are checking into it.
Yep.
That was pretty much their statement.
But the great Laura Loomer, as always,
I love it.
Brings receipts. She does her work, man. She said, and this is in a tweet that she put out, she said, are the Eagles lying about pro-Kamala Eagle ads not being their ads? It appears that is the case. So let's look at additional evidence she's uncovered that suggests the Eagles did, in fact, approve these ads, which they're now calling counterfeit. Their statement appears to be a rapid response cover up their own marketing team going rogue and endorsing Kamala Harris. The website address at the bottom of the Kamala Harris Eagles poster contains the following website, PhiladelphiaEagles.com/vote. And this website address opens to what appears to be an official site of the Philadelphia Eagles with a link to download their app and multiple sites related to voting. The first image directs you to a banner that tells you to text Eagles to 26797. So Loomer said, I texted 26797 and typed Eagles. Immediately, I received the following message. Hey, Eagles fans, thanks for committing to be a voter. We've teamed up with I Am a Voter to make sure you know about your upcoming elections. And then to start off, what's your name? Example, Zoe Vargas. Message and data rates apply. She goes, when I tapped the link regarding the privacy policy, though, I was immediately directed to the privacy policy of the EIF, the Entertainment Industry Foundation, a U.S. 501c3 charitable organization. It's a philanthropic partner of the Roybal Film and Television Magnet. Some of these notable members, she says, includes prominent Democrat supporters George Clooney, Eva Longoria, and Don Cheadle. Clooney is best friends with Barack Obama and called on Biden to drop out in a New York Times editorial. And Eva Longoria just spoke at the DNC convention in Chicago where she endorsed Kamala Harris. Don Cheadle was also in attendance at the DNC where Kamala Harris accepted this Democrat nomination for president. And then the second link on that text message directs you to, in quotes, Vote 411. Vote 411 is brought to you by the League of Women Voters Education Fund, which is funded by the Ford Foundation, George Soros' foundation to promote open society, the New York State United Teachers Government Worker Labor Union, and the Tides Foundation. And also, Kamala's sister, Maya Harris, formerly served as an officer of the Ford's Foundation. It also references you to voter ID assistance, and when you press the Learn More tab, you're directed to Vote Riders. A few partners of Vote Riders include the Philadelphia Eagles and DLA Piper. And it's worth noting that a few notable members of the leadership of Vote Riders include the Rick Wilson Board of Directors of the Lincoln Project and Ron Klain Board of Advisors. Does everybody know who Ron Klain is? He's the White House Chief of Staff for Joe Biden. Guys like
this
Loomer,
doesn't look counterfeit to me either, like it doesn't to Laura Loomer. And you know what it is the Eagles. Their games are just fixing to start, but they're fixing to be Budweisered because this is not cool. What they did, if they would have come out and owned it, it would have been one thing. But they came out and lied about it.
Yep.
Well, why would you do that? And to continue this with the Harris campaign, the Democrats are doing exactly what the Biden administration or what Biden did do. And while he stayed in the basement and didn't even tell anybody what his policies were until he was elected. And then they screwed you this whole time. Are you going to do the same thing with Harris? Are you going to vote for someone that you have no idea what her policies are when she showed you what they are already? She's not going to change. I mean, honestly, these policies that Biden has put forth, as you can see, he has no cognitive ability to make policies of his own. So these are Harris's policies. This is what Harris has been doing. Harris, amongst everybody else around there, Obama and everybody else, is who is running this country. They are doing this. And you're going to allow her to come back in and not have any policies except for the same policies that failed. Bidenomics failed. I'm sorry. It's a failure.
But as Michael Austin says in the Western Journal here, bluntly put, they want to keep you in the dark. And there's perhaps no better evidence of this than the reports that multiple members of the party are urging Harris not to share her party platform.
Yeah, they don't want potential Harris voters to know anything about their candidate's policy prescriptions before voting her into office. Once again, it's all about ideology. That's all they care about. They don't care about you and what happens in your life on a day-to-day basis, just like they don't care in Chicago and in Colorado, or any of these people that live in these apartments that these Venezuelan gangs are taking over.
Yep.
And it's going on all over the country now. We've been talking about this. We talked about the ones that took over in Colorado. Now, here we go. Another article today, Patty McMurray from the Gateway Pundit. 32 armed Venezuelan gang members overtake apartment complex in sanctuary city of Chicago. One of the first things they need to do is get rid of sanctuary cities, because those cities do not protect the people in the city. I mean, they don't protect them, because if they arrest these illegals because they're a sanctuary city, they get to let them go. They can't do anything to them. They're a sanctuary city for crime, for illegals. What the heck?
So, in light of that, I've asked this question a couple of times, even me and you talking about it back and forth. I'm like, man, remember back in the 90s, all the gangs that were out and how they ruled everything back then? Where are those gangs now? And this is their territory. What are they saying about all of this? You know, and honestly, I would have expected it to have blown up before even now.
I was just figuring that they all went in together and the gangs taught each other each different thing, but no,
like
that
they
ain't
sided
what happened.
together, yeah, but they haven't, man. Here we go.
To all Venezuelans in Chicago, this is the warning. If you ain't on no bullshit, stay neutral. Somebody please translate. Stay neutral. If you know somebody that's in your building on bullshit, don't let them run in that building, and don't let nobody see them run in that building. Because once word get out that that's the building that they in, they gonna chop that bitch down.
There you go. There you go. That answers my question right there then. Where they been? They're ready.
They're watching.
Yeah.
They're getting ready.
Who had, hey, start cheering for the gangs in Chicago on your bingo card. Yeah.
Certainly not me.
Yeah.
Never, not 100%. Migrant crime. 75% of arrests are migrant crime. So really, he's been telling you the truth this whole time. They've just been hiding it from you.
Yep.
And thank goodness for great reporting. This is great reporting.
Yep.
Everyone needs to go into this New York Post article. Really, it's great reporting.
Wide open borders versus closed borders. Is this thing working?
Rise up.
Well, hey, everybody, that's it for today. Thanks for listening, and I hope you've enjoyed the show. Hope you've learned some things about what's going on around us in the nation and in your communities. You know, we couldn't do this without your continued support either. We appreciate all of you showing up, taking the time to listen to us today. So please, like I say, make sure to hit the like button, share our show with all your friends. We'll see you next time on Is This Thing Working? And as always, I'm James, and that's my lovely co-host over there,
Denise.
And we'll see you next time.
We're out.